2023 and the fourth quarter of 2023, we now have around from 88% to 91% vaccine belief, or the confidence in vaccines are back.
Thank you. Did you sense that this disinformation was centralized or being controlled by a single force, or did it seem random?
For us, Madam Chair, honestly, we were not aware of this kind of issues. We thought it was just random.
Thank you very much, Yusek Vergeire. That's very helpful that you, in fact, already realized that something was up with disinformation. Does Senator Padilla like to make a statement?
A'udhu billahi minasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, ma'am. Isang
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng ating mga bisita. Isa pong napaka makasaysayang pagdinig, mahal na Senadora. Papakinggan ko po ang inyong pangbungad na salita. Ako po ay napakasarap pong madinig at magmumula po sa inyo. Kayo lamang po sa inyong English pa lamang ako po ay talagang pagkakabanggit nyo nung Cold War. Talagang yun po napakagandang ating namnamin sapagkat mula po sa inyong talumpati. Kaya po sana mamaya kung inyo pong mamarapatin ay hihingi po ako ng maiksing suspension lang. Opo. Mamaya po ma'am. Later. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat at ganyan talaga yung seatmate ko. Okay, the next issue is whether the U.S. military was behind these posts and tweets discrediting Chinese vaccines and other medical equipment. Unfortunately, we cannot compel a branch of the department, a co-equal state, to testify before the committee. Nonetheless, it's very clear in the Pentagon statement in response to the expose by Reuters, and you will have that, I think, already displayed on screen, please, the Pentagon statement. And I think the DFA personnel who are here present will stand by me that, in fact, persons well versed in interpreting statements of other states, such as the DFA, all here, as well as the government lawyers who are always responding to similar news. Do you agree that the observation of the news outlets that the above statement is not in any way a denial? It does not deny the material assertions of the Reuters expose. In fact, there are those who would say that this is tantamount to an admission from the U.S. Department of Defense. Is there anyone who would like to reply as to the nature of the Department of Defense statement? On its face, as we read it, by the grounds of international law. DFA legal, perhaps you can help us here. That they undertake a wide range of operations. Is that correct? Yes, I think that's clear. I mean, they assert that they use a variety of platforms, including social media, in order to counter malign influence against the United States. Certainly a right of every state to defend itself. Any thoughts? Yes, any lawyers from DFA or DND who are familiar with this sort of statement? It's certainly not a denial. Are we agreed?
It's neither a confirmation, Madam Chair, nor a denial.
Yes, it's neither confirmation nor denial. However, we are also fully aware that if there are serious or unfounded allegations, for example, against the AFP, the DND will categorically deny the same. Isn't it so? Dito sa atin, kapag nagkaroon ng turuan na ganyang kalubha, ganyang kaseryoso, ganyang katindi, hindi ba talaga ay mag-uunahan pa tayo para i-deny? Kasi nakakasira naman ng ating institusyon, hindi po ba? Yes, Secretary Manalo, please.
Thank you, Madam Senator. Just to on this particular statement, I think if we, judging and following from the final sentence, I think it's a declaration of perhaps a U.S. policy that they would be undertaking deterrence against any kind of malign influence against them.
Tama naman.
so-
Siyempre, pagtatanggol rin ang sarili
I
nila.
think
No?
yun ang ibig sabihin.
Oo naman. Tayo rin, di ba? Ganon
Same thing.
din naman.
Same.
Pag inakusahan ng mali, siyempre, itatanggi naman natin, ano? So, is it a reasonable assumption that the U.S. military did not deny what was written in the Reuters article? Because the same is true? Is that what we assume, since there is no vehement denial typical of the military institutions worldwide? Yes, Secretary Manalo, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I can only repeat what Secretary Teodoro said. I think it's neither a denial or an assertion of.
Secretary Chodoro, you'd like to speak for yourself?
No, if it's neither a confirmation nor a denial, then the burden of proof is on the asserter to prove something. So that means to say that the US DOD will neither confirm nor deny. Somebody has evidence, come out and prove it. I think that's the import of the statement.
Yes, that's correct. Neither a confirmation or a denial. But why would you not deny something if it was not true?
I think, ma'am,
Surely
it's,
jump into the fray and knock them dead.
I really can't speak for them. I think that's long-term policy that they neither confirm nor deny several things.
I've read in the very recent past very vehement denials from the U.S. DND. They are certainly not hesitant about lambasting people who accuse them of what they believe are wrongful and inaccurate things.
As I said, ma'am, I can't really speak for them, Your Honor.
That's right. Neither can we, although, of course, some news outlets view the Pentagon statement not just merely a lack of denial, but an actual admission of the veracity of the Reuters, as it is the habit, indeed, of military institutions to deny immediately wrongful accusations. In our legal procedure, is it not that an assertion not denied is therefore deemed admitted?
It depends. If the assertion calls for a denial, the characterization that
This certainly calls for a denial because
Ma'am,
it
that-
has very, very serious ethical ramifications already mentioned by Dr. Lucy.
well, on probably they can invoke matters of national security on that matter, but it's in a legal proceeding that when an assertion calls for a denial, then it can be laid down in evidence that the non-denial, if the nature of the question would call in the normal course of things, if I remember my evidence right, and it is not denied, then it can be submitted in evidence that such was an implied admission
Yes,
in a legal proceeding.
I understand that a legal proceeding would be required, but it is, of course, even in a legal proceeding, even under the rules of Philippine evidence, clear that an assertion that is not denied will have to be deemed admitted. Certainly one such so important as this one. Any instinct from the AFP and the DND? Why was the U.S. DND so cagey with neither an admission nor a denial? Wouldn't you deny it immediately when someone accuses you of such an evil, wicked, dangerous, unethical campaign? Nakangiti kayo, kaya sasabihin ko na umuo na kayo. O
Di,
siya.
ma'am, in ours, because we belong to a different set of rules, we will deny, naturally, any
Yes.
assertion that will affect the integrity of the institution, any false assertion, any malpropaganda, malign influence, we will immediately deny it. But that's us.
Perhaps